Leave it here, take this out.
Hang on.
Put your microphone
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, could you call the roll, please?
Thank you, Chairwoman. Chairman, Dr. Bill Toller. Vice Chair Crystal Clark.
Present.
Stephen Brown. Julie Highsmith.
Here.
Dwayne Sandhill.
Here.
Pam Chetska. Christy Jean.
Present.
Councilman Jeff Amara.
Here.
Okay. We have presentation by Principal Salter from Cypress Trails Elementary School.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening,
evening.
sir.
All right, board members, Vice Chairwoman Clark, Councilman Hamera, and Dr. Andrews I know is here, Dr. Rodriguez, all of my colleagues from the Central Region are here tonight, so it's my pleasure to present to you. And the very first thing that I want to do is to introduce myself. Who am I? Who is this new principal at Cypress Trails Elementary School? So first of all, I want to share with you that I am born and raised a Hoosier from Indiana, and I am a adopted Floridian now for about 12 years. I'm a proud graduate of Hanover College. So in the picture here, you can see that Hanover College is it's a liberal arts college in Indiana. It's nestled on the bank of the Ohio River. So it was a wonderful college experience, and I believe very strongly in liberal arts education, and it really made me a very well-rounded teacher who was ready to enter the field. And I am a very proud husband, a very proud father. And as you can tell from the picture, might be hard to tell, my wife and I are expecting our second child. It's going to be a girl. Nitro, the UCF mascot there, is holding up a baby onesie. So we're very, very excited. We both, our family is right here in Royal Palm Beach. We've been living here for about 5 years now. So for me personally, it's an even greater honor to not only become the principal at Cypress Trails, but also come back home to Royal Palm Beach. My career in education started right here in Royal Palm Beach. Actually started in Indiana for 1 year, and then I moved down here to Palm Beach County. I started at Royal Palm Beach Elementary School as a teacher, and had the honor of working with great leaders, especially Tracy Gogler, who's the current principal there. She was my assistant principal and has been a mentor to me ever since. Then I had the opportunity to develop as a leader, and I became the assistant principal at Seminole Trails Elementary School. But as you can see from both pictures, I have a very strong belief in making learning fun and engaging. So even going from a teacher who would dress up and have fun to being an assistant principal who would dress up and have fun, that was something that I held with me. And as an assistant principal, I really grew into a school leader. I had the opportunity to collaborate, with my principal. Also, pictured is Vivian Green, who's our instructional superintendent for the Central 2 region for elementary schools, and so she's had the opportunity to, be a mentor to me for the last several years. So now becoming the principal at Cypress Trails has been an even greater honor because now I get to continue to work with her. Also, another thing that I learned as the assistant principal was it's important to build community relationships. So, for example, the new ballpark of the Palm Beaches is just 3 minutes down the road from Seminole Trails. So, we worked closely with the the Washington Nationals baseball organization and brought in their mascot and had a bunch of rewards and incentives for students. It was just one of the many things that I did as an assistant principal to build community partnerships, and it's something that I believe strongly in and will do at Cypress Trails and have already started to do. So taking a look at Cypress Trails Elementary School, I want to share with you our data from last school year. I know it might be kind of hard to see on here, but we're looking at the difference between FY17 and FY18. Some of the highlights that you will see looking from the beginning and the end. First of all, in overall, Cypress Trails maintained their A and actually increased their A by 49 points last year. In language arts, there are three main categories. There's proficiency, and then there's learning gains for all students, primarily 4th and 5th graders who took the test the previous year, and then also those who are in the lowest 25% from the previous year's scores. So Cypress Trails increased in all three of those categories. Also, the students at Cypress Trails maintained high achievement in math. You'll see that we maintained 79% in proficiency from FY17 to FY18, which was last year. And then we also increased in science by 10%, going from 60% to 70%. So taking a look at this school year, we met as a team over the summer. I got all of my stakeholders together, my team leaders, my assistant principal, and others, and then we started building our goals for this year. And we met with our school advisory council, and we got our goals approved through our school improvement plan. So we want to increase by 3% in every category because we had so much success last year. We want to keep that success going, except in 3rd grade reading. We recognize that the district places a priority in 3rd grade reading. In 3 years, in 2021, the district wants to achieve 75% proficiency for all students in grade 3. So for us, we were at 56% in grade 3, so we know that we need to improve that. We have work to do. So we want to go up by 5%. So our goal in grade 3 reading specifically is 61%. It's a little hard to see, but it's right there under that English language arts achievement. If we do all of this, we're going to raise our A to an even higher level, and we're already in that process right now of talking about what it's going to take and putting that plan into action. So speaking of that plan, we have our school improvement plan that drives everything that we do. At Cypress Trails, it drives our professional development. It drives how we spend our money as a Title I school. So our goal is specifically targeted to that 3rd grade reading goal. And our intended outcome is that if we improve English language arts proficiency in grade 3, we're going to improve by 5%, then that's going to help us to be on track to reach that 2021 goal of 75%. So some of the action steps that we have put in place already is we want to have professional development in our English language arts curriculum that we use called Core Knowledge Language Arts. It is a specific curriculum that the district supports. And one of the ways that we do professional development is we have a specialist come once a week in grades kindergarten through 3rd grade. The specialist does coaching with teachers on the spot in classrooms. The coach also sits in our professional learning committees in order to provide those teachers the professional development they need. And then especially because this year 3rd grade is doing that curriculum and it's new to them, they actually get to go off campus to have professional development with the district as well. Another thing that we do and we place a strong priority on is targeted instruction. We have 2-hour blocks for literacy, English language arts. So that's reading and writing combined. So one thing that we do is when we look at our scheduling, we place a high priority on not necessarily that the classroom teacher does all of the instruction. We look at our block based on who's available at that time. So when we look at doing our immediate intensive instruction, III, which is extra reading for every student, for example, we don't look at it as, well, you've got one teacher for everyone in that room who needs it. We pull in resource teachers that we use from Title I. We pull in ESE teachers and ELL teachers who are available. And we look at how can we create the smallest and most uniform groups so that students are working together in groups that are with students that are similar to them, so the teacher can provide guided reading instruction at their level and not have to be stretched over multiple levels of students. And then we have professional learning committees, which meet at least twice a month, and that's where we can bring in continued professional development, especially around English language arts, but also where we can bring in support staff from the district as well. So our Title I school-wide plan is basically it is the funding source, and it's the plan that we have to and support our school improvement plan. So we have positions that we use. For example, we were able to fund through our Title I budget, we're able to fund a full-time reading resource teacher. And that reading resource teacher not only gets to support in grades 3, 4, and 5, but also in K through 2 as well, which we know if we're going to meet the goals in 3rd grade in 3 years, we can't just support 3rd grade for 3 years. We have to start in kindergarten and 1st grade and be sure that we provide them with support too. We also are able to fund tutors. So we're currently looking at not only doing before school tutoring, after school tutoring, but also looking at having tutoring during the day as well by hiring academic tutors who might be college students looking to become teachers, who have flexible schedules. It might be maybe a teacher who's certified but is not working right now and who wants to have a flexible part-time schedule. And that adds an extra people to that system that I talked about earlier. It's not about taking one teacher and only that teacher with that classroom. We take everybody at once and look at who's available. So if we put an academic tutor in there, it reaches more students and it can make our groups even smaller and more targeted. For supplies, we have lots of supplies that we purchase, but for example, we look at being sure that we target classroom libraries so that teachers have books and instructional materials that not only are targeted for the levels of students, but also because we have that core knowledge language arts. Our language arts domains is what we call them, or modules in 4th grade, are focused around content. So for example, in 3rd grade right now, they're doing animal adaptation. So we want to be sure that we provide nonfiction text for them that is based around science, based around animal sciences, so that students, when they are reading independently or teachers are doing small group instruction, that they have topical text for them. We also believe strongly in interventions at younger grade levels for phonics and word work. So we have programs called Foundations that we use for phonics for our younger grades in K1, and then we use a program called Words Their Way for word work in 2nd grade. And then also we believe very strongly in parent-school communication. So we use our money to fund family involvement, and one of those items is we have communication folders that go home on a daily basis to help improve that communication between school and home. Professional development, we did use Title I funds to purchase, or actually to pay for stipends for teachers to attend over the summer. That was really important for them to go to workshops over the summer because through the school district's a penny tax referendum that was passed a couple of years ago, we are one of the schools that is under the refresh project. So our entire main academic building this summer was under refresh. So teachers couldn't come back early. So we believed it was very important that we gave them the opportunity to do a lot of their PD over the summer, and we were able to provide them stipends for that. Also, we have a plan in place to provide every grade level with at least 2 days of common planning. That's one thing that I'm sure if you polled most teachers, they would tell you what do they need more of? They need more time. So we have the funds, and we've placed the priority that teams will strategically pick a day where all members of that team can get together to plan, and then we can bring in specialists from the district. We can bring in those ESE, ESOL teachers to collaborate with them. So that's something that we've placed a strong priority on this year. And then for family involvement, I'll show you some pictures in just a few minutes, but we had our first ever family game night, had over about 350 people come for a school of 460, that's not bad. And we had a great time doing that. So we are able to, have great activities for the families to build a strong partnership together, have fun doing activities that are, more traditional board games and iPad games. And so I'll share a picture of that a little bit later. Also, we have STEM night coming up, so I'll do a plug for that a little later too, next week. And then we have literacy night that we're planning in January. And something special that we're planning for literacy night is we don't just want to have a blanket night where you come and learn about literacy. We are going to put together workshops for families to pick and choose. So if you've got 2 children, you can pick a kindergarten workshop and a 4th grade workshop. Or if you have needs in different areas, you can kind of pick and choose. And then one thing that we always try to do is provide dinner at our Title I family involvement nights, just to provide one less barrier for families to attend. So our September in review, to go over some of the great things that have already happened this year, taking from the tradition at Royal Palm Beach Elementary School and in the village of the Watchdogs. When I came in, I was going to jump right into Watchdogs, but my school counselor came to me and said, I have this idea for All Pro Dads. And I said, let's do it. So we are an official All Pro Dads chapter. I'm told we're the only one in the Western communities. And we have already had 2 meetings. Dr. Armis from Royal Palm Beach High School opened up our meeting, our first one, back in September. And then we had another meeting, about 30 dads or so showed up to our one a couple weeks ago in October. And the topic was initiative. So every month we have a different topic. Dads and children get together for breakfast, and we do activities. We have discussions over a different topic each month. And then my goal is to take a similar theme to Watchdogs and to try to incorporate the volunteerism. So if I can get the dads at Cypress Trails to commit to at least one day to volunteer in the school, whether they come to events or they volunteer in classrooms. We already have a schedule set up where we know on Mondays you can follow this schedule, on Thursdays you can volunteer and follow this schedule. So now that we have the structure in place, now I just need to work on recruiting the dads a little more. But we're very excited about the start. Also, we have other great volunteers. So we're right next door to Crestwood Middle School. So we have a group of about 15 or so. And they come over at about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then at about 9, we release them to walk over to Crestwood. But they help out in classrooms. One of them is she's our office manager. So she gets on the PA system and announces that the morning news is ready. So that's really cool to see. And it's great that we have those role models. And then also, too, we have volunteers that come from all walks of life. We have a group that we call our grandmas who come to volunteer. So we put them in kindergarten rooms because we know that kindergartners need extra special help. Through our core knowledge language arts curriculum, one thing that I told the teachers, and I feel like this is probably one of the greatest powers that we have as a principal, is the power to give permission, or the power to inspire and light that spark. I told my teachers, I said, if we're doing core knowledge language arts, we need to have themed culminating activities. If we're diving into a subject matter and connecting language arts to it for 8 weeks, we need to have something meaningful at the end. So my third grade teachers took me up on that offer, and they their first domain was called Classic Tales. So they hosted a tea party, and their main novel that they were reading is called Wind in the Willows. So some of the kids dressed up as Mr. Toad, and some of the kids dressed up as shorter stories or segments from books like Aladdin or Alice in Wonderland, and they had a tea party. So it was a really nice opportunity. They invited parents to come in. Today, our fourth graders just finished their module on poetry. So we actually had poetry presentations. The fourth graders gave poems and also spoke about what inspired them to write those poems, which was a major theme of their first module. Our PTO is a big group that we really want to try to refresh at Cypress Trails. And so we started off the year by deciding we needed to recruit. So we had a great group of parents come, and we invested time and energy into trying to recruit. So we put together candy goodie bags. We have a Remind group. We use the Remind app to communicate a lot. So we created a Remind group, and we got out in the car loop one morning, and we're handing out candy bags to parents. And to try to recruit them to come to PTO meetings and get on board. And then we made goodie bags for the teachers. So that's our goal, is to try to refresh and reboot our PTO and try to help get not only Cypress Trails and parent involvement at the school refreshed, but also in the community as well. So we're going to be looking to do a lot of parent family nights at local businesses and restaurants as well. Our Dad's Day, or Donuts with Dads, was also a huge success. We ordered about like 15 dozen donuts and ran out, and had other refreshments and stuff too, but it was great to have a lot of dads show up, grandpas, uncles. So once again, it was just getting the year off to a great start and being sure that we open up our doors and be sure that we welcome all volunteers. As a E-STEM school, the E stands for environmental. We place a strong priority on partnerships in those areas of science, technology, engineering, and math, but specifically the partnership we have with Lion Country Safari. So all of our kindergarten and first graders are going to Lion Country Safari, and we do activities around animal science at our school. Other students in the school are partnering up with the South Florida Science Museum. They especially want to team up with Title I elementary schools. So when we see that and we get those invitations, we jump at that because we really want to try to boost our E-STEM choice program that we have. And we have a committee that we're working this year to try to take a look at our program and enhance it through the community. And also beyond the community if we have any families who want to utilize their choice option to come to our school. And then a great part of that is also the way that we structure our fine arts. Our fine arts teachers do enrichment groups. They teach K-5, but then they also do enrichment groups. So our PE coach, for example, does a recycling club, and we are a green school of excellence. So she also does a lot of green activities. So we utilize our fine arts teachers to provide enrichment on top of the enrichment that children are getting in the classrooms. And this is just a great example of that. This is family game night that I talked about earlier. So you'll see different activities. Families were playing board games. They were using the iPads to play family-oriented games like Kahoot. And we also had Minute to Win It. So it was really cool to see the families playing, silly games together. And we provided pizza that night, and it was just a really nice event to kick off the year. And we hope that will help to continue that strong parent involvement aspect. And then, like I mentioned, we have a partnership with South Florida Science Center. So over the last 2 weeks, our 4th and 5th graders got to do a lab at school. And then last week, they went to the South Florida Science Center to participate in a field trip where they got to do another lab as well. So we're going to continue to look for those partnerships to try to promote our E-STEM program as much as possible. All right, so a couple plugs. Next week we have our STEM night. It's on Tuesday night from 6 to 7:30. So Mr. Brown is our liaison, but everyone else on the board is welcome to attend if you'd like to. And of course, you're always welcome to come and visit. But this is partnering with South Florida Science Center as well. We have a lot of STEM-related activities. We'll have refreshments, and we try to provide opportunities for families to learn together. So that's Tuesday night. And then also on Friday, we are going to have our book character parade. So everybody in kindergarten through 5th grade is encouraged to dress up as a book character. And we'll have our bus loop as the parade route, and it'll be a great opportunity. We're going to invite families to come in, and then some of our grade levels will also take it for the remainder of the day and do fall learning opportunities to try to enrich not only their learning, but also invite parents to come and do family activities as well. So that is my presentation. Thank you all so much for the opportunity to present tonight, but more importantly, just thank you for the opportunity to be the newest principal in the village of Royal Palm Beach. My wife will joke and say that the best part is that when I say I'm on my way home, I'm like literally 5 minutes away. But for me, it's becoming familiar with the community. I'm familiar with the community, living here for 5 years and being here back from 2012 to 2016 or so. 2006 to 2012 as a teacher, but I now get to reestablish my involvement with the community, working with the council and other members like Carmen Campbell and Lynn Balch, who are both SAC members at our school through Relay for Life and other important initiatives that the village has. But for me, it's nice to go to Target and see my students. It's little things like that really help me feel connected, and I think that as principals, that's what we have to do, is to remember that we're connected to not only our school, but the community as well. So thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions from? No questions? I just have one. The communication folders, how effective is that? Do you get a really good, are parents really participating?
Yeah, I brought it from my previous school at Seminole Trails. We were Title I for all 6 years that I was there, and I felt like it was very important because one side says keep at home, one side says return to school. So it's important that we teach students organizational skills, but also so that parents understand, better, what to keep at home and what to return to school. But I also use it as a marketing tool. On the front cover, I put our Twitter handle at CTS Lions. I put our Facebook page at Cypress Trails Elementary, and other important things like our school website. So to me, it's a marketing tool too, so that parents have those on there and we can put our school logo. But more importantly, it's just a daily tool that teachers and parents can use.
Well, thank you very much. And being no other questions, thank you. Thank you, Principal
Okay.
Salter.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Do we have reports from district or central region?
Good evening, Royal Palm Beach Educational Advisory Board. I bring greetings and thank you for being a partner with the School District of Palm Beach County, from our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Donald Fenoy II, as well as all of the school board members. I am truly honored to be your school board member representing the village. And it was a great report, Cypress Trails Elementary School Principal Salter. Let's give him a hand. He was awesome. As your school board member, I just have a few points to share with you tonight to let you know that we're just so proud to be an A-rated school district within the Palm Beach County schools. We work so hard, our principals, you see many of them here tonight, our teachers, our students, our staff. We're a village a part of you, making the difference in the lives of all the children. And our big accomplishments each and every day is to focus on success for academic achievement for every child. That's the big focus in our classrooms each day with our teachers and our school staff, as well as safety. Safety is a #1 issue and concern as it relates to all of our boys and girls. We want them to feel comfortable and safe, coming and going and being in school every day. So academic achievement and safety, 2 big points for us. Our strategic plan, as you very well know, takes us into 2022, and you can follow that on our website if you need a refresh on that. Our schools are working toward the objectives and goals of the strategic plan each and every day. And with the safety piece, we have a brand new school police chief. And I would love to request from you all that we bring him here one evening so you can meet him personally. He has come to us as a chief of police from Jupiter, but he stepped into Palm Beach County School District, and he is doing a magnificent job, working closely with all of the police officers, with all of the communities around the county, making sure that our schools are safe, working closely with the sheriff's office and all of the municipalities. Safety is a key. And I would love for us to invite Chief Frank Kissero to the village of Royal Palm Beach, which is really my home. I am your District 6 school board member, but I live right here, and I'd like to bring him home so that we can see him and have him talk to you about issues. Right now, we are working closely, and I'm not going to steal the thunder from our region superintendent, Dr. Frank Rodriguez, but we're working on our referendum. And I know you're hearing a lot from our schools and a lot from our district leaders, our teachers, and our staff about it. Certainly with our district superintendent, Dr. Rodriguez will be talking with you a little bit more about that. But it's truly important that we educate the community. You see the signs, the red and white signs. I didn't wear my red and white t-shirt today, but as you will see me over the next few days, you'll see me sometimes walking my dog or at the grocery store with my shirt, telling everybody that we have a question that we want to ask the community to help us in our schools. But I think the biggest issue is to explain what we're talking about to you so that you can make a great decision as to what's necessary for you to do as it relates to helping our schools. So as your school board member, I'm just happy to be here and welcome the new board. I hope that if you need me, don't hesitate to call me. I live right here with you, and I'm here for you at any time. Any questions at this time? Thank you very much.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us. I'm Frank Rodriguez, Central Region Superintendent, and proud to serve the village of Royal Palm Beach. We have a long-standing partnership. We've done a lot of great work together, and I'm excited about continuing that great work. And before I begin, I'd really like to just take a moment and thank our principals. All of our village principals are here tonight, and I want to just take a moment and thank them for their time, as well as we have some of our assistant principals that are here, because it's just marks sort of a dedication to our work and our partnership with the village. And so I want to thank them for being here. I also have with me today our instructional superintendent for elementary schools that works with the village schools, that's Ms. Green, and our secondary instructional superintendent, Mr. Tierney, that works with our village schools. So we're excited to be here with you and share a little bit about the great work that's been going on at our schools. You heard a little bit today from Mr. Salter at Cypress Trails, and just, Mr. Salter, I just want to, maybe coincidence, maybe not. You mentioned at your dad's night that, or dad's event, that the donuts, you had so many people that the donuts ran out. But I just want to point out, Mr. Armas was there too. So I don't know, coincidence or not, but we'll see. So, so we're excited because this year all of our village schools begin the year A-rated. And we're excited to be able to say that, and we're excited to be able to continue our work to build on that, right? We recognize that good is the enemy of great, and we're striving for greatness all the time. And so with that in mind, I'll share a few slides. You heard about the All Pro Dads Breakfast at Cypress Trails. And you know, whether it's All Pro Dads, whether it's Watchdogs, it's about getting dads involved and engaged with our students and their education here at school. And so we're excited that all of our schools have a program that we're running that focuses on engaging our dads in our education for our children. And so we're excited about that. And congratulations to Bruce and his team for starting that this year. Over at H.L. Johnson, we had over 300 students submitting summer reading logs this year, which means they were busy over the summer, right? They were busy at work reading, and to reward that, they had an ice cream dance party. And so we want to thank Royal Palm Beach Ice Cream for their donations and being a part of that. It's that kind of engagement and community that rewards our students for their hard work, and we're excited to have that. And so thank you to Royal Palm Beach Ice Cream for that. Over at Royal Palm Beach Elementary, I was privileged to be a part of their Watchdogs event, and they hosted that annual, one of their first meetings there in September, and I was privileged to get a chance to speak with the community and to share my story and my piece as a dad. Certainly not perfect dad, but I try my best every single day, right? So that's what we're always striving for. Over at Crestwood Middle School, I want to point out that they continue cultivating a growth mindset for everyone. They launched a Thank a Teacher Thursday, and teachers Amanda King and Sylvia Cerise want to congratulate them for their dedication and commitment to excellence in education. And then I've been busy also over at Royal Palm Beach High School, and want to just congratulate Mr. Brandon Gilbert, who was selected by Legacy Magazine as one of South Florida's top black educators for 2018. So special congratulations to him. I believe it was July 16th, 2018 in the Sun Sentinel. So we want to recognize and thank all of our educators here in the village, from our administrators through our classroom teachers and anyone who touches the life of a child, right, in this educational process. And so I want to just share something with you that I'm sort of really on a campaign around this year, and it's around attendance and student attendance and the impact that chronic absences have on students and student achievement. And so the research nationwide is clear that essentially, when you're talking about chronic absences, 40% of kindergartners nationwide often have chronic absences, which is defined as 10 or more days absent. And that has an impact into first grade and an impact in their reading. The evidence is clear in that research. And so we're working hard to work with our parents and our community to help us engage in this, to reduce chronic absences for our students. And so that impact goes on into high school, where it also significantly impacts their graduation rates when they have chronic absences. So we see that all the way through the K-12 continuum and spectrum. And so we're putting a dent on that. I'd be glad to come back at a later time and share a little more in-depth information about the impact of absenteeism on student achievement. And so I just want to call that out and plant a little seed that that's something we're working on, and we're striving to put a dent in it, because it certainly impacts our students and their achievement, and it's just one of those pieces we're working on. And then lastly, I couldn't leave here today without touching base with you around the referendum. I know that we had a very in-depth presentation from our chief of staff last week, and I just wanted to point out that you're probably going to be seeing some of us out there, maybe holding some signs in the afternoon or evenings after school hours, because it is important, and this tackles really 5 key points, and that is safety and security. You heard Ms. Andrews, our board member, talk about safety and security and how important that is for us. So certainly safety and security, and improvement also in additional equipment that our officers can have to keep our campuses safe. And so we're all a part of safety and security, every one of us. We do our part. And so the second piece I wanted to touch base upon is an impact on 650 fine arts teachers. The third piece is, you've heard a lot about, which is really important, is around teacher pay. The fourth point I want to make about it is that there is an independent review committee that will monitor exactly how every dollar that's taken in is spent. And that's really important to our community. And then also that the fifth point is that in 4 years, it comes back to the voters again for another decision. And so we're obviously busy at work with this. Everyone in the system is aware, and we know how valuable and important this question coming to our community is. So we thank you for your time tonight, and it's great to see everyone and be with you today.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have, when we had our last meeting, Dr. Ernest gave a presentation, and our chairman asked him some questions, so he has returned with the answers to those questions.
Good evening, thanks. I was asked during the presentation by Royal Palm Beach High School, I was asked the percentage of students who participate in extracurricular activities. I didn't have that number. That is 54.4% of our students participate in extracurricular activities, whether it be a club or a sport or an organization of some kind.
Well, thank you very much for returning with the information. Do we have any other principals who had anything to say or share with us? Any news, any upcoming events you wanted to invite us to? Haven't we? None? Okay. Oh, we do have one? Okay. Oh.
Yes, and someone pointed out, thank you, that tomorrow we have the showcase of schools for our choice programs. That's going to be at the fairgrounds, and we're excited to invite everyone there. I believe it starts at 6 o'clock. 4 tomorrow? 4 to 8, sorry. 4 to 8 tomorrow at the fairgrounds.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Board member? Liaison report? Who is doing?
It's just anybody.
Okay. Nobody, okay.
Just have that Royal Palm Elementary is still its location. They had the same events that we were talking about a little while ago with the Dads and Donuts and the Walkathon, which they are very close to reaching their goal for the funds they're looking at raising. They were looking at raising $15,000, and they're 11 plus right now. So that's a plus. Getting ready for trunk or treat for Thanksgiving, and it's Dyslexia Awareness Month at the school.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Student council report.
Good evening. I'm extremely happy to be here for yet another month. As stated in our previous meeting, this past week of October 8th was our homecoming week. We kicked off the week with a Marvel Monday on October 8th. Students dressed up as their favorite superhero or villain. Due to the weather conditions, our annual flag football game was rescheduled for today at 7 p.m. I will be attending after this meeting. Toonie Tuesday, students dressed up as their favorite cartoon character. We did not have a night activity because we wanted students to rest up to prepare for the pre-SAT on Wednesday. Walk of Fame Wednesday, students dressed up as their favorite celebrity and or movie star. Our night activity was our annual dodgeball game. This was our most highly anticipated night event. This was a total success, and all clubs and organizations throughout our campus that don't usually connect with each other were able to play against each other, uniting our school as a huge Wildcat family. Our baseball team also won, but they are known as the Dream Team. And on Thursday, known as Stunt Double Day, dressing up as your twin. Throughout our campus, there was friends taking pictures and dressing alike and earning spirit points for their club and organization. We continued our night activity with our lip sync battle. This is a fresh night activity for homecoming week, but this turnout was still great. We had 4 acts, including an alumni performance and 2 hosts. Fan Favorite Friday, students dressed up showing their school spirit for our game against West Boca. During halftime, we announced the homecoming court and our 2019 King and Queen. We also started a new tradition at Royal Palm this year, which allows clubs and organizations to decorate a pumpkin according to the theme. The pumpkins were showcased at the football game, and everyone who attended were given 3 tickets to vote. The children loved this. They loved seeing all of the colors and different decorations based on movies like Disney, and this went with our theme, Lights, Camera, Roar. Our Saturday night homecoming dance was a complete success as well. Everyone had a blast, and this really shows that hard work really does pay off. Our spirit points are still being tallied due to the rescheduling of the flag football game, and the results should be in by the end of this week. Many teachers participated in our dress-up days, earning them a chance to win any gift card of their choice. And Royal Palm Beach High School is still participating in the Chick-fil-A talent show. Our cow actually won the Chick-fil-A contest, and we also had our own Wildcat students participate in the Chick-fil-A talent show at Wellington Green Mall. And we attended our county council meeting, the first one of the year at Park Vista High School. And we are preparing for Boo Bingo at HLJ. And our county council meeting is at the end of the month, and we are also going to begin Christmas tree sign-ups at the start of November, and Relay for Life will be meeting with our President's Circle in November to begin talking about fundraising ideas for the year. And I yield the floor.
All right.
Good stuff.
We just wanted to invite everyone to our fall festival at H.L. Johnson. It's free admission. There's wristbands available for the kids for bounce houses, rock wall, petting zoo, everything pretty much included. We have something that we're gonna put the teachers under where it dumps water on them. The kids are gonna love that. We'll be collecting for the canned food drive. At the festival as well, and our chorus will perform. The Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts will be there. It's on November 10th from 10 to 2. And we'll have food trucks as well. And then we're having Boo Bingo, superhero themed, so it goes with their homecoming. We did a fall fundraiser as well, a catalog cookie dough sales. We don't have the numbers back yet, but we raised probably close to $12,000 for our school with that. Our Dad Bring Your Child to School Day, we went through close to 60 dozen donuts. And we split it into 2 days, so it was about 30 dozen each day. And then our principal arranged our walk to school day for everyone to meet at the park and walk together, and she walked with them and our AP. It was really well attended, and all the families really were raving about how great it was, so I just wanted to mention that too.
That sounds so wonderful. Nice things like that are really good. Okay, so and nothing else from the board here? Okay, well, do we have any community members that would like to speak? Okay, we have none. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our September 17th, 2018 Education Advisory Board meeting. I need a motion first. Okay, it's motion by...
I'll second.
Okay. All right. Everybody in favor? Ayes, ayes, ayes. All right. Do we have any old business? No. We have any new business? Okay, well then I'll call this meeting adjourned.